Why a lot of productivity advice actually fails. So one of the reasons is that most of the advice and strategies out there are made for people who actually have a deep understanding of themselves. Where we are also brought up in a community and society that tells us to perform, to optimize, and to be perfect. So when we are in a space that is teaching us one thing, using systems that has been created for somebody who does know themselves, it creates a dissonance. And that disconnect can create burnout and overwhelm for people because they're trying something that should be working on a system that is not ready for what they're trying. And it creates shame, it creates self-deprecating thoughts. It's just a very ugly system. We're taking generic solutions and trying to make them work for deeply unique people, which will not work. And when you're doing that, you're just having this sophisticated level of busy work, which feels even worse because you are trying, you're doing the best you can, but it's still not coming together. The best return on investment that you are going to get is learning to have a deep understanding of who you are at this very phase in your life. Because the person you were 5 years ago is not the person you are today. So the same tools and tricks and strategies that you used then may not apply now. One of the things I've really been grappling with and experimenting with is how to use life as a discovery tool. So it's not about being more of this or doing more, but actually how to be more of myself and using every moment as a point of data. So the frustration, the anger, the joy, the excitement, the pleasure, taking all of these parts and learning how to integrate them to be more me and have a better understanding of who I am. And it allows us to shift the question from, once again, how do I do more or be more, to how do I hold space for all of me without shaming or guilting myself? And how can I create systems and flows that allow me to embody it and work through whatever I'm experiencing. And that actually kind of leads me to my harmony framework. And though my surname here is Sarah Sparks Balance, in part of doing the work and being on this journey, I titled my framework the Harmony Framework because harmony allows you to grow through seasons. It's not about equal distribution, but more about learning how to allocate energy and resources to the different parts of your life that need it at the moment you're in. And this allows for a beautiful ebb and flow and a beautiful understanding of who you are in this very moment. Harmony framework. So let's talk about my harmony framework and get right into it. H is about health assessment. As a nurse, this is always one of our foundational assessments that we take with any patient. And I think with any client, it's also necessary to go through that. Number one, when was the last time you got blood work? Could there be any labs like vitamin D that you might need to replenish that could actually make a huge difference in how you're feeling? Vitamin D, magnesium, there's certain things that we could optimize just by adding that can change your life. But when I talk about health assessment, it's not just about the actual physical health, but it's also about looking at your health in general. Are you walking? Are you exercising? Are you drinking water? Okay, that kind of stuff. A is authentic reflection. Are we having honest and open conversations with ourselves? Yep, I know, talking to yourself regularly. Are you able to ask yourself the tough questions? What am I doing that's working? What's not working? What do I need to do to change that? Am I being accountable? If I'm not being accountable, who can I actually talk to help me be more accountable? Being honest and open about where you are and doing it regularly will help you from sliding off track. R is rest and recovery is also super important because when we're constantly on the move, learning how you rest and recover will change the game. Are you somebody who socially rests? Do you like being around people, just hanging out, laying around, chatting, and that leads you to feeling rest and recovered? Or does that kind of situation actually freak you out? Would you rather be alone by yourself when you're resting? Personally, I need a little bit of both. I need a little bit of interaction with people to kind of like downgrade and co-regulate. But at the same time, I really love being alone. I love quiet mornings and quiet evenings by myself to kind of just allow myself to be in my own energy. I also love recovery from a standpoint of like saunas, sitting in the sauna or doing some myofascial release that allows my body, my physical body to rest and relax, and I end up feeling a lot more rejuvenated. But what does that look like for you? Are you somebody who physically likes to rest and it affects your whole system? Are you like someone who likes to speak and talk and it allows you to feel rested after the fact? I don't know. That's something you have to figure out for yourself. Next, we have M, which is mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just meditation. There are many ways to be mindful. And the whole point of being mindful is being present with what you're experiencing. So yes, I am someone who does meditate often. I meditate almost every day, not because it's fancy, but because it allows me to hold space for what I'm experiencing. If I'm busy or stressed or overwhelmed, I will actually experience that. And rather than push it away, I'll hold space for it and see if I can allow myself to see the stress or the uneasiness and hold space for it and know that it's okay and that I will be able to move through it. I also like dancing. For me, dancing is also very mindful because I'm allowing myself to be fluid and present. So what does mindfulness look like to you? How can you be more present with yourself and with your body on a regular basis through journaling, meditation, movement? What's your thing? Next is O. O is open. Where do you need to be more open to friendships? Need to be more open to experiences? What are you closed off to that you could actually invite more of into your life? And this is one of the biggest things I find for ambitious people is that they get so focused on what they're doing. And even as an entrepreneur, someone who's building something, it's so easy to get locked in that I forget to have experiences. And then life can start feeling very stagnant. So I met with my friends and we're like, we're going to meet at least once a month, and not just to have a coffee, but to try something new, do something new. And it became a thing. So we're introducing novelty into our life by being open to what life has for us and being open to making a conscious effort to experience new things. And then the next one is N, which is nurture. What needs to be nurtured in your life? Through community and connection. We are living in a society that is now very digital. Lots of AI, lots of Zoom meetings, but beyond that, where are we finding our moments of connections? I'm coming from a very collectivist society, collectivist culture, I would say, where we not only look out for ourselves, we look out for our community. But who is your community? I remember seeing a post on Instagram that was like, if you had a brain accident or something happened and you had to pick one person to remind you who you are, who would you pick? A lot of people don't have people who know them at their core, who know the good, the bad, the ugly, and the amazing, right? So are you nurturing connections so that people know who you are and can build you up and pour into you the way you would be able to build and pour into them? And the last but not least is why. Why is integration? How are we putting all of this together? How do we put our health assessment, our reflection, our rest, our mindfulness, our openness, our nurture? How do we put everything together to live a life that feels aligned and juicy and fun to be in? And I think the integration part is like the most important part. We could talk about each individual one, but how do we actually allow ourselves to live in a life where we have uniquely integrated all the versions and parts of us that need love and nurturing to live on a daily basis? Okay, so let's talk about living the framework. This isn't something you do once and you're like, yeah, checked it off my list. It's actually daily moments of self-awareness, weekly reflections, monthly recalibration and adjusting, and yearly vision creation and alignments to becoming the more aligned version of yourself. Living in this framework is meant to be fun. And when we start living from a place of seeing life like an experiment, like a beautiful experiment that we get to play around with, and like, didn't love that result, but you know what, I'm going to tweak this and tune up that and do this. We start being able to have fun in life, seeing life as an opportunity to interplay with other people and experience things from a different perspective. So I'm going to close with this. The most powerful productivity tool that you can implement today is a deep knowledge of self. And once you have that ability to understand yourself, implementing systems that actually serve you based on your unique needs is where the real shift happens. Making it fun and consistent and something that you can rely on is where the beauty lies. So I'm curious, what part of my harmony framework resonated with you? What part do you feel needs the most nurture in your life? Is it your health? Is it openness? Is it rest? Comment below. I would love to hear from you. And if you are interested, I have a 1-hour power hour call where we deep dive into getting clarity on what needs most attention and love in your life, and we can set a plan on how to do that. So leave me a comment below to tell me about what you think about the harmony framework. And also leave me a comment or DM me or contact me on any of my socials if you are interested in the Power Hour. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.